Welcome to my channel, and I'm back with you once again with another video of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Nowadays I'm doing a series of videos for the Boeing 778, and in this regard this is going to be the 9th video in which I will tell you how to perform a missed approach. Before this I have covered the FMC configuration part, how to start the plane from the cold and dark state, flying the plane on autopilot, descent management, ILS approach, VR approach and RNAV approach, and the last one was regarding how to perform a hold. So if you're not really familiar with all those procedures, I have given the links of all the videos in the description. You can just go and follow them. Right now I'm doing a short flight from Heathrow to Frankfurt, and as you can see on your screens, I'm almost near runway 25 left for Frankfurt. I will be landing at runway 25 left. So let's start configuring the plane for the landing. However, I will not be landing the plane. I will call it a missed approach. First of all, go to this initial reference page. Go to index and approach and select the flaps and the speed. Right now the gross fade is coming, which will eventually change because till the runway some fuel will be burned. So maybe you can set it to 331, although this much fuel will not be burned, but just trying to tell you that how you enter the gross fade. And still you can see there's no difference in the approach speed. So it's okay. So you can select 30 degrees of flaps and the speed 158 knots. To be on the safe side, I will keep 160 knots as the approach speed. And now I have to set the minimums. As you can see over here for category 2, it's 461 decision altitude and decision height is 100 feet. As you can see, the runway elevation is 361. So if you're setting your minimums on the basis of radio, then you will set 100 feet. But right now for this video, I will use baro. You can change it from radio to baro over here. And then I can set 461. This is actually an altitude at which I will hear this call out minimums. So if I think that I will not be able to land the plane high on altitude, or if I'm not aligned with the runway, then I can perform a missed approach and then come back again. It just changes too fast. Oh, look at this. Let me just do it slowly. If you move your mouse wheel too fast, it jumps. So be careful. $461 baro. That's it. And right now you can see the speed is really high because I'm controlling the speed with the VRAM. But anyhow, before this turn, I will reduce it to 250 knots. I'm descending to 4,000 feet because it is the altitude at which I will be intercepting the glide slope. But right now you can see the plane is higher than the descent profile. Both your descent profile indicator and plus your ILS diamond, they indicated the vertical deviation below the center line, so it means you're coming at a high altitude. Another thing that we have to do is this, that we have to set the heading of the runway over here, and then I will just take you through the missed approach procedure. After setting the heading of the runway or the inbound course is 246 degrees for ILS. So let's set the heading bug to 246. So now if you look at the missed approach procedure, you will see that after missing the approach, you will go to DF290, which is over here, maximum speed coming as 220 knots. Then you will go directly to DF685, and this is DF685, maximum speed 220 knots. Then you will turn left 237 degrees and climb to 5,000 feet. And then you turn left, maximum speed 220 knots, and then you will go to CHA, which is CHA over here, maximum speed 250 knots. So all you have to do is this, turn all the way left and go to this point CHA. Interestingly, let me just also adjust the altimeter. Okay. Now if you look at this option legs, you will see CHA is coming over here, altitude 5,000, and the heading of the waypoint is also coming 240 degrees. So that's it. So you can be at 250 feet, 250 speed. in knots. So that's it. Everything is looking good so far. And if you look at the navigation display, the missed approach procedure is also coming over here. So right after the moment I'll call a missed approach, or I'll decide to come back and land again, I will actually activate the autopilot and try to fly in the heading mode. Let's just also reduce the speed because it's too high, and let's keep it at 250. I can activate speed brake, set the auto brake to 4 for the landing, although I will not be landing, but still I will set the auto brake at 4, because once I'll perform a go around procedure, I will just come back and land again and show you how you land again. I can deactivate the speed brakes, and I can arm the speed brake for the landing. That's it. Still you can see, actually I was coming at a high speed, that's why it missed the turn, but anyhow, just going back to DF6 to 5, so soon the plane will be at DF6 to 5. That's it. So this procedure is coming, and it's there in the FMC. It's shown on the navigation display. All you have to do is this: just follow this path, follow the speed and altitude constraints, and that's it. You really don't have to worry about that. So right after I'll go for a missed approach. What I'll do is this: I will give full throttle. Right now it's in the idle position, but obviously I will give full throttle because we have to pick up the plane. Otherwise it will just crash. And then I will retract the gears because near the runway the gears will be down, so they have to be retracted, otherwise they will create a drag and you will not be able to climb to the given altitude, and your speed will also not increase obviously if you have gears down. And then you will retract the flaps by 2 positions. You will keep it at 20, and as soon as the speed increases you can further retract the flaps as per the flaps constraints coming over here on the private flight display. So that's how you're going to do it. You actually retract the flaps by 2 degrees because obviously flaps not only provide lift but also provide drag. So due to this reason you have to retract the flaps, and you have to do it immediately after giving full thrust. Right now I'm below 10,000 feet. I can turn on the lights for landing. That's it. And what else? Let's just wait for it. I'm still at a very high altitude, still not in the range of the ILS. If you go to NAVRAD, you will see the ILS is coming as 111.15. So the ILS frequency is there. Now you can see the distance is coming 24.9 nautical miles. DME stands for distance measuring equipment. So it tells you your distance from the runway. Now this indicator for the ILS approach is moving, I think, in the middle. It should be in the middle. Otherwise you will not be able to land. Obviously it's a scenario in which we are actually depicting that I will not be able to land. I can further reduce the speed to 20. I can extend the flaps. That's it. So everything is good so far. You can see the runways. This is runway 25 left, 25 center, and 25 right. You can also perform a hold at CHA. If you know how to perform a hold, it's easy. Because in this video I will not perform a hold. I will come to CHA and then I will come back again and try to perform another approach and land. Right now you can see this diamond is moving in the middle. So what I can do is this. Once it's in the middle, I can also activate approach and then the plane will follow this glide slope. That's it. Now localizer is locked and the plane will now follow the descent profile or the glide slope, and at this time I can set the altitude to 5,000 feet because this is the altitude I will be climbing to after declaring a missed approach. Heading is set to 247. Let's change it to 246, which is the inbound course for the ILS. Some little more distance to cover. Let's reduce the speed to 180. Further extend the flaps. You can see this is the restriction for the speed for the flaps. So if you have 10 flaps, you can go below this. This is your reference speed or your approach speed, 160. So although everything is looking good and we have clear skies, that's why the visibility is good. Otherwise, in case the weather is not good, you cannot see the runway, you're not aligned with the runway, there's any issue, you can perform a missed approach, come back and land again. It's even a good procedure for the practice. If you are practicing your landing skills, then you can just come try to land the plane, and if you think it's not good, then you can just come back and land again. And if you are flying with the VRAM, obviously they will be giving you vectors for the missed approach. But it's an interesting procedure to follow. I can set the flaps to 20. 8.7 nautical miles to go. With this, I can disarm the auto throttle, set the speed to 220. And I can disengage the autopilot and I'll try to land the plane. Let's reduce the speed, lower the gears, flaps. Full. You're hearing this error because I have extended the flaps to full without the gears. So now the gears are down, so this error has disappeared. So that's why I was telling you that as soon as you'll give full throttle and you retract the gears, you have to retract the flaps, otherwise you will keep on hearing this error. Now I'm trying to actually follow the glide slope, but it's not necessary. I'm more comfortable right now because I'm not good at landings. That's why missed approach procedure videos are good for me. Either I land or don't, doesn't make a difference because obviously I'm going for a missed approach. So now the heading is set for the runway, speed is set to 220 and the altitude is set to 5,000. So I will fly in the heading of 246 degrees, speed not more than 220 knots, and altitude will be 5,000 feet. Soon I will be approaching minimums, 461 feet. So maybe at this point, I decide to abort the landing because I'm below the glide slope. I can give full throttle, pull up, retract the gears and retract the flaps by 2 position. Remember not to pull up so hard. Just keep it at 10 degrees. If you look at the PFD, I'm trying to keep it at 10 degrees. With this, I can arm the auto throttle, engage the autopilot, fly in the heading. The speed is also selected. Now I can also click flight level change. Now the plane will actually climb up to 5,000 feet, flying on heading mode. And let's so the gears are up. Flaps, I can further extend them, retract them. Keep it at 10 degrees. Speed, you can see it's restricted at 220. So right after this point, I can turn 237 degrees. Sorry. And you can also activate LNAV. So once you press LNAV, the plane will actually follow this path, because LNAV is for lateral navigation. Now the plane is leveling off at 5,000 feet. That's it. Now the plane is actually following this missed approach procedure in the navigation display. Now the plane is moving towards CHA. I'll just show you. Now what I can do is this. I can increase the speed to 250. Retract the flaps. And further retract the flaps. That's it. Up position. Now everything is good. Lights, you can keep them on because already we are below 5,000 feet. Now soon the plane will be reaching CHA. From here, you can just come back and land again. As you can see it on your charts that the plane is actually following this missed approach procedure as mentioned on the approach plate. So if you go to this option legs, you will see cha, and then you can even hold. If you press this button, then you can hold. If you are not really familiar with the hold procedures, you can just go and watch a video on my channel in which I've covered how to perform hold for this plane. Now the plane is at 5,000 feet at 250 knots. I'm moving towards CHA. Now what I can do is this, that I can select the approach again. As you can see, it's coming. ILS 25 left. Transition DF626 stars UK. UNOCO. What you have to do is this, that for reselecting the approach, ignore the stars. You don't have to select the star, because if you select the star again, it will go all the way back to UNOCO over here, because UNOC 4A, it's actually a standard terminal rival for UNOC 4A. So don't select this, but only select the transition and the runway. So it will actually go to CHA, and then transition is DF626, so it will go back here again, DF626, and then it will follow this inbound course for the landing. Now as you can see that I am near CHA, what I can do is this. I can deselect the star because we don't need it. I can deselect the transition, and I can also deselect the runway. And again, one thing, you see this dash line. Actually, this is actually an extended center line for the runway. Even you can fly on vectors. You can adjust the heading, intercept this line, and then you can even perform an ILS approach. Because right now, in your option NavRad, the frequency is there for the ILS. But anyhow, I'm just going to select the runway again. ILS 25 left. Let's look for it. ILS 25 left. And transition DF626. It's now here. So the moment I'll press execute, you will see a magenta line appearing. That's it. Now, if you go to this option legs, you can see the plane is first going to CHA, then there is a discontinuity, and then the plane will go to DF626. You can get rid of this discontinuity and press execute. Now you have a proper flight path. The plane will now go to CHA, and then it will turn left towards DF626, speed 250 knots, altitude 5000, and then you can again intercept the glide slope and you can land the plane. It's easy. And again, with this approach getting selected again, you can see the missed approach procedure again coming as the path which the plane is actually following right now. So again, if you miss an approach, you can fly this blue line, this blue path again to CHA, and then you can come back and land again. So let's wait for the plane to be over here in the straight line for the final approach. And then I will tell you how to land the plane on ILS, although I've covered it, but still I just want to land it. You can now see that the plane is moving towards DF626, but it will take a turn from here. And over here the restriction is 4,000 above. I'm already flying at 5,000 feet. Soon plane will be turning left, and then it will be aligned with the final approach. Now for the landing, auto brakes set to 4. Already we set them to 4, and the speed brakes are armed for the landing. So everything is looking good so far. I can adjust the heading as well, again back to 246. I can reduce the speed. Extend the flaps. And now you can see that the plane is actually following this path because of LNAV. Even right now I can activate VNAV and let the plane do all the speed control, but I'm just controlling the speed myself. Now it's moving towards DF624, so over here. Now you can see that the ILS indicator is moving in the middle. So soon I will be intercepting the glide slope, and what we can do is this. Again, we can go to this initial reference page and select the approach. You can see it's not changed. It's slightly one on, so it's okay. I will go with the full flaps landing, and the speed I will keep it at 160 for the approach. So that's it. Now I can activate approach, and now the plane is following the glide slope. We don't need the airport charts anymore. I can close this, and you can see the descent has started 14 nautical miles away. I can reduce the speed to 180. And with this, I can extend the flaps. Now the flaps are set to position 20. Altitude again set to 5,000. Already it was there. We can set it to 5,000. For the missed approach, if you want to do it again, the heading is 247 again for the missed approach, and the speed I will adjust again as soon as I will deactivate the auto throttle. Now I can lower the gears and extend the flaps to 30 degrees. Gears down, flaps full, speed 160. The plane is automatically in the land position. As you can see, all the three autopilot buttons are on. Glide slope flare. This is actually a land tree. It means plane can auto land. Let's see how it works. I can do an experiment in this video because still if it's off, then I can come back and land again after performing a missed approach. So the speed is now at 60. So let's see how the auto land works in this plane. 500 feet to go. Everything is looking good so far. If you look at the papillites, 2 white, 2 red, it means the plane is following the glide slope. And even on the prime to flight display, you can see that the plane is following the glide slope, 300 feet. Okay, activate the reverse thrust, and that's it. So that's how you perform a missed approach and then come back and land again. I hope this was a useful video for you, and now you will be able to perform a missed approach. With this, I would just like to end my video. If you've got any questions, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you want to add anything to this video, the comment section is there for you. Thank you very much for staying with me. Have a nice day. Hope to see you soon.